Yo, what's good, man? Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to the channel. Solid Talk with your boy Ryan, back at it with another video. Hey, listen, man, remember, and you got to remember, we keeping the mind solid and getting the body cut up. Hey, listen, man, I hope y'all doing well, taking great care of yourself. Today's another day. Be grateful for the day, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to be here. You know what I'm saying? So that means you are blessed. You feel me? Check this out, man. Oh, hold on. To all my day one homies, I see y'all. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. To all the new people tapping in, coming across the page, coming across the video. Listen, if you want to stay, you can stay. If you want to go, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So listen, one of the best feelings, bro, especially when you go through the struggle of not having your own, of having to use everybody else's things, and one of the best feelings, bro, is that you have your own things, bro. You have your own things in your name. You control your situation. You have power in your situation, bro. Especially as a man, bro. You feel me? If you're a young man, if you were a regular age 30-year-old, you know what I'm saying? If you're 40 years old, as long as you have your own thing in your name, bro, that's one of the best feelings, bro. Because especially if you've been in situations where you had to always borrow somebody's car. You know what I'm saying? Somebody always lends you their car. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, if you got a car, it's probably a hand me down car, or it was a car that your parents bought for you, or it was a car that what I'm saying, you paid for, but you ain't really pay for all of it. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody co-signed the car for you, so you didn't really own a car like that. It wasn't your car all the way. When you in those type of situations, it's like sometimes certain people play with you. You know what I'm saying? Certain people play with you. Certain people take the situation to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? Use it to their advantage, and it could be nasty sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it don't be looking right. It don't feel good to be in that situation when you really got the power to move how you want to move. Like, you ain't really got that choice to move how you want to move. You know what I'm saying? Because you're moving under somebody else program. You feel me? You're moving under somebody else structure. You understand? So when you have, hold on. So when you're in that situation now, you gonna feel like you gonna feel like you either don't want to even have the car, or you don't want to ask somebody for the car like that, or you don't want to dang on you don't want to be in that situation at all, but because if you had your own, it would be different. You will feel different. You will be more at peace. You know what I'm saying? You will feel more freer. Even though you might be using the car and shit like that, but you still might feel like, you're on the leash. You know what I'm saying? You're on the leash. You can't go too far. You can't do this. You can't go over there. You can't drive how you want to drive because it's really not your car. It's not your thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not in your name. You don't really have that much control over it, right? So you want to work on having things in your name. You want to work on getting things from, what I'm saying, from your hard work. You know what I'm saying? That you really work hard for that. You earned that. So then nobody can come back and talking about, oh no, I ain't got you that car. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody come back, somebody like, nah, without me, you wouldn't have had that car. Without me, you wouldn't be riding. Without me, you wouldn't be where you at today. You, you know how? Listen, I wish somebody would tell me that, dog. You know what I'm saying? I wish somebody would come at me like that. But the thing is, though, that's why you got to have a certain mindset, bro. Because I had a certain mindset from when I was young, bro. And I said, yo, listen, I don't like people trying to tell me what to do and how to move, and try to control me and try to rule me like that. I ain't really with that. You feel me? So I always had the mindset. Of course, of course, you're gonna respect your parents and stuff like that. But outside of them, I ain't really trying to hear too much from everybody else like that. I ain't really. So it's like, once you know that about yourself, you gonna be like, yo, listen, I gotta have my own things. I gotta be in my own space. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Because you know how free you feel when you could do that, being yourself. You know what I'm saying? Being yourself, you gonna feel free knowing that you have your own thing. You can move how you want to move. You ain't got no limitations. You ain't got nobody, you know what I'm saying, giving you a roof, and you can't get past that. You can't go any further, right? So I always had a mindset. I always had a certain mindset since I was young. Like, listen, when I get my license and all of that shit, I want to have my own car. You feel me? I don't want to be using my parents' car. I was using their car when I was like 16. I was riding around in their car, their truck. You feel me? Doing what I do, shit like that. But I was like, when I started working and shit, 16, 17, I was like, I'm saving up for a car, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I saved some money, you feel me? Dang on. And then my parents helped me out with a little bit of extra money. And I bought my first car from some Spanish guy, some Puerto Rican dude, up in Jersey and shit, up in Elizabeth. You feel me? That was my first car. It was a 2000 and Mitsubishi Eclipse, you know what I'm saying, stick shift and shit, you feel me? And so the Spanish niggas, they always be souping that shit up, you know what I'm saying? Exhaust and rims painted and the hood painted and little the logo on the window and all that type of stuff, right? So it was like a little racing car that I bought. I like the type of cars anyway. So I bought that type of car and that was my car for some years. But that moment felt good because like, yo, I put the work in for this and I earned this and what I'm saying, I have control over this car, even though my parents helped me a little bit. But they respected the fact that I worked and earned that. You feel me? So that right there is something that's gonna make you realize, like, yo, listen, like you gonna start knowing who you are. Like, I have to have my own so I can move how I want to move. Because, like I said, people will play with you, bro. People going like take the situation and manipulate you and do all this type of stuff, bro. Same thing if you have your own crib and shit. You feel me? Like, it's a lot of dudes, bro. One thing I really don't understand, bro, especially when dudes know and seeing situations like this where you might move in with a woman and later on you'll be kicked out that woman's house. You feel me? Like, niggas know situations like that, or you heard situations like that somewhere around. Like, it might be online or offline, but people are aware of that. People are aware of that shit happening, right? I'm aware of that shit happening. So even with shit like that, like, you don't really want to be under somebody's roof like that, knowing that they have the power to kick you out anytime they want to, anytime they can, because your name ain't on the lease and you're not doing nothing like that. You're not paying them. So you might be paying rent and shit like that, but your name is not on the lease. So it's like you ain't got too much say so in that situation, right? Or whatever it is, right? And a lot of niggas be in that situation, bro. And I'm just like, I don't know how some people do it, but if you moving with a woman, bro, that's she gotta be moving in with you. It gotta be the other way around, bro. Like, it's not gonna be on no, I'm gonna move in with her and then nah. That was always a thing that I look at kind of funny. You feel me? That was always kind of funny to me. So I said, so even with that, I said it's always better to have your own place, because if you do have a girl and shit like that and she have her own spot and you go over there and you go chill with her, you go kick it with her and shit like that, and whatever happened, you know what I'm saying, she get mad or whatever, I might fight, have an argument, whatever it is, you could leave and go back to your place. You feel me? You ain't gotta stay and deal with the rah rah. So it's a lot of shit like that. It's shit like that you gotta look at. And just the fact, like I'm trying to tell you, you don't want to be under nobody. You don't want to be under nobody control. You don't want to be under anybody control as a man. You feel me? You want to have control of your life as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? You want to be that. You want to be that. You want to be that thorough man. You feel me? So you want to work on shit like that. You want to work on getting that for yourself. You want to work on you want to work on owning and having things in your name as much as you can. You feel me? So you can have that peace of mind. So so you could just have that freedom for yourself, man. You could get up and go when you want to. You ain't gotta wait on nobody. You ain't gotta be, relying on people to come pick you up all the time, or you gotta wait for them to bring the car back, and or you know what I'm saying. You might have a crib, and you gotta wait till you gotta wait till they come back because you ain't got no keys and shit. Like whatever it is, bro. It could be. You just want that. You want that freedom. You want that peace, man. You know what I'm saying. So if you're a young man watching this, if you're 18, 19, 20, 21, whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you're 30, 31, 32, if you're 45 or 50, if you just want to make sure you're in a power position of your life, you know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you're in a power position of your life, man. So nobody can't just come and just bust down your door and be like, yo, get. Nobody can just bust down your door and just tell you what to do and tell you what it is because they got, the higher up in the situation. You want to make sure that you have that higher up in your own life at all times. You know what I'm saying? Shit gonna happen. You might fall off, you're gonna need some help, which is cool. But make sure you just get your ass back up and get back to where you had to get back to. You feel me? And make and keep on winning. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to just drop that real quick, give y'all some life game on that. And if you don't know, you should know that shit already though. Mm. But for the ones that don't know, that's that. You feel me? Everybody that's watching, everybody that's supporting, I appreciate y'all. Remember, we keeping the mind solid and getting the body cut up. I'm gone.